Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi out here, and we're doing a preview for a game here in Toronto against the Boston Celtics. The champions are coming to town today to play the Raptors, and they're pretty much fully healthy. And this is the 41st game of the NBA season for the Raptors. So that means this is the halfway game. Think about that, y'all. So many different people have had so many different opinions about the Raptors and what they should be doing at right now. And they really got to keep the focus that like now is exactly halfway after this game tonight. And that we have everything that we played before this, that amount of games still ahead of us for the rest of the year. So there's still a lot to happen. And it is true now that the Raptors have the easiest schedule for the rest of the season. That this is they really front loaded us with everything to be at 9 wins at this point with 41 games played tonight. They front loaded it. And well, it's going to get a lot easier for a couple months now, and the Raptors will have better chances to win games like they did on Monday night against the Golden State Warriors. So we need to be ready for this, Raptors fans. I know Team Tank's going to be upset when the Raptors start winning more often than they have so far this year, but it's going to happen. I already can predict it right now. There's no way that we're going to win only 9 games in the next half of the season. We're going to win more than that, guys. And I'm hoping. I mean, I still have that goal deep down that we can get to 26 wins this year, but that may be crazy. That's 17 wins out of the last 41 games to make that happen. And I don't know if that's possible. Now, this is another thing. Tonight's kind of a trap game for the Celtics. The Celtics have been kind of They're 2-2 in their last 4 games. They have been kind of not totally at their top peak like they have been. And most part of the season, they've been really, really rolling like from the start. But they've kind of been more mere mortals in the last couple of weeks as a team in the NBA. So they're ripe for the picking for a trap game. I'm telling you right now, especially because the Raptors got that feeling of a win on Monday. I think they liked it. And in some ways, once you get a little taste, you want to go try and get it again. And we're going to have home court tonight. That's a good factor. And we did almost beat them earlier this year. In the first game we played them, barely lost on a bullshit Jason Tatum travel shot at the last second. So, yeah, they did beat us again at another game, too, this year, too. So this will be the third time we play Boston. So let's get a win against them. Why not? We beat them in preseason. So in some ways, this season so far, we're 1-3 with them. We beat them once in the preseason. I know it doesn't count, but at least to these guys in a mental way, they've beaten Boston in a preseason game. So why not try and beat them in a regular season game? And that's tonight. All right, injuries, none. Like I said, Boston is not reporting any injuries, so they are fully healthy at this point right now in the season. And that means Porzingis is back and he's playing for them. That's the big difference. That'll be the difference this time when they play tonight is that Kristaps is actually healthy, back in the lineup, and the big man from Latvia is back for Boston. Just so y'all know. So their starting lineup at this point is White, Holiday, Brown, Tatum, and Porzingis. And off the bench, we know the feisty, very annoying Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, Al Horford, Luke Cornett, Neemias Queta, J.D. Davison, Jordan Walsh, Drew Peterson, Jaden Springer, and Xavier Tillman kind of round out the whole entire roster for the Celtics right now. Now, with this team, the starters are, a certain caliber and a level, but they're still kind of undersized in some ways. And then, the bench is not as deep as former teams. Like, that's the one thing I'm noticing with the new salary cap is teams just aren't as fortified with quality right all the way down because the salary cap's making it harder for them to fill out their teams with really crazy, like, veteran players getting paid for minimum that are coming in. And, it's not as possible. So there is way more youth at the end of benches for top teams. And this is the case with the Celtics, having people like Drew Peterson, Jordan Walsh, and J.D. Davison as part of their, extended rotation. So We'll have to see what happens tonight. Like I said, these guys, the Celtics, they have not been totally great in the last few games. They beat New Orleans, who's one of the worst teams in the league, but they lost to the Kings and Oklahoma City just recently. The Kings came into Boston and beat them. DeMar DeRozan and crew took down the Celtics, the champs, on their home court with Doug Christie as their coach. So yeah, that's something right there. That happened last Friday night. So yeah, they're gettable. The Celtics are gettable, I believe. So we'll have to see how that goes. We'll see. On our side, we do have one injury. It is Emmanuel Quickly. And Emmanuel has been ruled out for today's game already. So we could expect to see probably Davion Mitchell starting once again. I could see that. I could see them starting Davion with Grady, RJ, Scotty, and Yak tonight because it was very effective against the Warriors. And if Quickly's out, I think that the default isn't that Shed jumps into the starting lineup. He's not ready totally yet as a rookie. That Davion jumps in the starting lineup and Shed just stays as the backup point guard. And it may be that that's the flip. Emmanuel's not available. Davion jumps from the third string point guard all the way to the starter over IQ. So that's what's likely tonight is what I'm think is going to happen is Davion Mitchell will be starting once again tonight just to give them an extra defensive bonus and edge out there in the starting lineup. And in some ways, Davion helps cover up things with RJ and Grady being out there together in the starting lineup. So, yeah, that's what I'd like to see. The referees for tonight, we do have an interesting ref crew. It's not a horrible ref crew, but it's still kind of dubious. The crew chief tonight's going to be Mark Davis, guys. We know Mark Davis and his history, yes, but Mark Davis, well, he's hit and miss with the Raptors at this point. You know, there's a while I thought he was really out to get the Raptors. That was like 10 years ago. But it's kind of calmed in like more recent years. And in some ways, I've seen it be more fair towards the Raptors because of the Sacramento incident before. So he's tried to even it out. I think that over years, I honestly think Mark Davis has tried to make up for his mistake in Sacramento towards the Toronto Raptors. Seriously, I'm being serious. 27 seasons for Mark, number 8 out of Chicago, Illinois. He likes to watch The Wire. His favorite movie is Three Colors, Pan-African. He likes to listen to John Coltrane. He reads Lonesome Dove. He likes to eat pancakes. His favorite app is Cisco AnyConnect. He most like to visit Venice, Italy. And his bucket list is to fly a helicopter along the Chicago River. That's right. In addition to his NBA service, Davis has 3 years of officiating experience in both the CBA and the collegiate levels. There you go. He's old enough to have played in the Continental Basketball Association. So that's how you know he's an older ref when he was refereeing in the CBA. All right, so it's very interesting. Mark Davis, we've had for a ref 2 times this season so far, and we lost both the games. Our record with Mark currently is 49% winning, and the Celtics are 49% winning. So it's absolutely even, the split between the Raptors and the Celtics with Mark Davis as a ref. 49% winning percentage for both. Exactly. So it's a split with the crew chief as far as favoring which team they have. That probably is part of the reason why they brought him there, is because of that split being exactly even. The second ref is one of our favorite refs in the league. It's Star Wars fan Carl Lane, number 77, in tribute to the year that the great movie Star Wars came out. His NBA experience is 14 seasons out of Little Rock, Arkansas. He likes the show Game of Thrones. As I said, he's a big Star Wars fan. He likes the books and the movies. His favorite musician is Jay-Z. He likes to eat Mexican food. His favorite app is Candy Crush. He'd most like to visit Rome. So there you go. We got Mark Davis wants to go to Venice, and Carl Lane wants to go to Rome. So these guys are wanting to go to Italy. Bucket list is to see the 7 wonders of the world, and his hidden talent is home repair. So Carl Lane is a really good home repair guy. Maybe he needs to come and talk to Scotty about his trade school, and maybe they could do a little commercial in conjunction. And Carl Lane could show some of his home repair skills off in a trade. And Scotty can be like, "Thank you, Carl Lane." And he'll be like, "May the force be with you, Scotty." That would be cool, man. Carl Lane, think about that crossover promotion to help Scotty's trade school. You do some home repair on the show, and you can say a cool line like that. It's like, yeah, you could. May the force be with you, Scott. That could be the funny line. Carl Lane has officiating experience, including 4 seasons in the G League and 9 years at the Collegiate Southwestern Athletic and Gulf South conferences and high school levels. There you go. Yeah, Carl Lane is our favorite ref today. He is the guy with the high win percentage for the Raptors today, but we've lost both the games he refereed this year so far. We win 57% of our games when Carl Lane is present. Meanwhile, though, the Celtics win 2 out of 3 of their games at 67%. So he does favor the Celtics, 57-67. The split for the Celtics with the second ref, Carl Lane. The third ref is the rookie. The rookie ref, J.D. Rawls. J.D. Rawls, number 94 in his first season as a full-time NBA ref out of Baltimore, Maryland. He likes the TV show Power. His favorite movie is The Forge. He listens to Anthony Hamilton. His favorite book is Die with Zero. He likes to eat shrimp pasta. He reads the Bible. He most like to visit the Maldives, and his hidden talent is sign language. So this guy is someone who speaks American Sign Language, which is really, really cool. J.D. Rawls officiated 7 seasons in the G League, where he refereed playoff games 6 years, finals games 4 years, and the championship game of the Winter Showcase 3 years. In 2022 and 2023, he officiated both the championship game of the NBA Summer League in Las Vegas and the Basketball Africa League finals. That's pretty cool. J.D. Rawls has gone over to Africa and officiated the BAL finals. That is very, very cool. Very, very, very cool. J.D. Rawls is not ref both these teams very often in the NBA. In fact, the Raptors have a 2-4 record with him in the NBA, and 3 of those losses came this year. So before this season, we were 2-1 with J.D. Rawls, and we've lost 3 straight with him refereeing this year in his rookie year. So we're now 2-4, and our percentage is 33% win percentage with him. Meanwhile, the Celtics have only been ref twice by J.D. Rawls so far in his very young career, and they're 1-1, so it's 500. So 33 to 50 is the split for the Celtics on very, very little data available for JD, who's a rookie as a ref. So 2-4 record for the Raptors under him, and the Celtics are 1-1. So there's your ref report. We basically got Mark Davis, a dubious ref from our past. We got Carl Lane, Star Wars fan, who's a good ref for us in the past, and then J.D. Rawls, the rookie, who's been a good ref too. He's a good ref. It's just that we haven't managed to win any of the games when he's been available. So there's a ref report. Mark Davis. Could be worse. It could be worse, honestly. All right, let's get into the chat. There's your rundown with the latest lineup and the ref report right there. 13 minutes in. All right, let's see. Trevor J saying, there comes a day when you realize turning the page is the best feeling in the world because you realize there's so much more to the book than the page you were stuck on. I love that. Yeah. Stagnation in your life can seep into you in the everyday schedules and the things that you do over and over again. At a certain point, you can feel like you're getting nowhere, or you can feel like things are just not as good as they could be in your life. And what could you do to change that? That's true. In some ways, you need to have the courage to make changes that may be scary and not totally comfortable to get to that other side and get to the good stuff. Thank you, Trevor J., Commissioner of Fun, for your words of wisdom this morning. I like what you're saying here. That's right. Trevor's saying, happy game day. Let's do it again. And Yak reaches correct high Monday night, 5,000 points. Yeah, we covered that in the yesterday. I said that on the stream when I went over Jakob on the box score that he got 5,000 points. I think I said it on the Instagram stories because RJ actually posted the 5,000 point achievement on his Instagram and celebrating that for him. Yeah, so we did cover that. Monique saying, good morning, Raptor Free crew. Let's see what tonight brings. Give the Celtics a good run. Go Raptors. I'm wondering if you're going to the game again. I'm not totally sure if you are or not, but yeah, it's love to see all the pictures from the last game, Mo, and great to see you with Jerry Stackhouse once again. I know we already talked about. In fact, after the game the other night, when Jerry Stackhouse was here with the Golden State Warriors on the coaching staff, the Courtney Charles and some of the 905 people did a commemorative ceremony in the back for Jerry Stackhouse as a part of the 10-year anniversary of Raptors 905. They gave him something special for winning a championship with Raptors 905 as a coach in our history. And Jerry was actually seemed like he was really touched. I know he's a Warriors guy, and I know in some ways some of the things that happened with him in Toronto, where he might have been our next head coach after Dwayne Casey, made things a little weird and kind of, he was very gracious. And I hope that Jerry Stackhouse looks fondly upon his experience in Canada as a coach. And, I'm sure he does. But it was really nice touch by Courtney Charles and the 905 brass to do something like that while he was in town and honor him, because honestly, he is a championship coach for the Raptors on the G League level. And that's something that's special still. Kaz is saying, good morning, Lex and Raptor Free crew. Let's go out and put a big effort in. Yeah, I'm with that. I think that that's very important. I think that, the Raptors, because they're not the most talented team in the league, for certain things, they're going to have to do things like they've been dedicated in their philosophies to be the hustling team, the team that just works as hard as possible. And they did at the beginning of the season. They had a drop off for a little while, but they're back to it now. And they need to really focus on this for all 48 minutes. It is absolutely crucial for the Toronto Raptors to play very well for most of the game to be able to have a chance to win games. Absolutely crucial. In fact, I could go look at this game tonight and see what the matchup prediction is predicting for our percentage chance against the Celtics tonight. Is probably not going to be that good because they are the defending champs and they are one of the top teams in the East right now. So what is the matchup predictors giving us a 20% chance of winning tonight? So 1 in 5 chance that we can beat the Celtics tonight. That's not as good as the 45 we had against the Warriors. So 20% chance of winning tonight, according to the ESPN matchup predictor. Yeah, so that's interesting. A 20% chance of purple rain. Yeah, let's throw those shots through from the 3-point line, Raptors tonight. All right, let's see. Randolph Phillips is here. Game day blessings, beloved Raptor freaks, most informative gang. Do not allow others to dictate your existence. You choose your destiny and the path to get there. I like that. Have autonomy of yourself. And, go for what you want, and don't let other people shape you in ways that may not be good for you. You go ahead and go and do it is what it is right there. I like that, Randolph. Appreciate you and the blessings every morning. Blessings to you, Randolph, and the Phillips family and all the Raptor Freak families out there. Thank you for the words of wisdom, both Trevor and Randolph. I should do Leo's words of wisdom still. I kind of miss doing that. Kind of do. Stargate is here. Good morning, Stargate. And in order to complete with the Celtics, Davion must do some scoring. He can go over. He can must do scoring. He can go over again. You don't want him to go over again. Yeah. Listen. As long as other guys are kind of carrying the slack, Davion. It's not totally necessary. I mean, if he's open, he needs to shoot it because they're leaving him open. But we don't need to focus on him or give him shots. Like he's not the kind of player that needs to do that. Although people would say, if you're going to be out there, you need to carry your weight and get some points per game. I mean, for his stats himself, it would be good instead of going out there and getting a bunch of goose eggs. But maybe he doesn't care about that. Maybe he really just wants to build his player type for what he is, and the scoring stuff is not as important to him. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. I'm pretty sure Davion will start again tonight, though. Pretty sure. That's been a good look. I really, really like the look against the Warriors. It made me realize part of the reason why we were so successful in some ways the beginning of the year is because of Davion Mitchell being more prominent and playing a lot at the beginning of the year. Yeah, there was a lot more prominent there. Yeah, Mo's saying IQ just needs a full season for me. Yeah, I mean, I want our highest paid players to be available health-wise. And in some ways, it is what it is. I mean, IQ has come back and had a stretch. And that's the thing. This is what they were talking about at practice yesterday, how frustrating it could be to get everybody back, get a little bit of a stretch, and then IQ's back not playing all of a sudden for a couple games. It kind of, we really want everybody to be available for like a good chunk of like months. And IQ, I think that the stuff with IQ right now is not major, and that it may be just temporary for like 2 games now, and then he's back like on Friday or something like that. I could see that happening with him right now. Stargate's joking that Mark Davis is Vince Carter's favorite referee. I think it's his doppelganger, according to Alvin, is what he was saying. He's like, "Hey Vince, are you out there reffing the game right now? Is that you?" It's like, Alvin, that's Mark Davis. That's not Vince Carter. Oh, the hairstyle, it messed me up. It got me all confused about, is this Vince sitting next to me doing the commentary? Or is that Vince out there wearing a referee uniform, running up and down? It's like Vince is probably like, man, that's not nice, Alvin. I don't want to look like Mark Davis. I hate him. It's like Vince was like, what are you saying, man? You saying I look like that man? I don't want to look like that man. I was like, you look like that man. I'm sorry, you just do. It's from behind. If you walk up on you or him behind, we're gonna think one of you might be Vince Carter, or Mark Davis might be you might be Mark Davis. Seymour's here. Good morning, Seymour. Good to see you. Holding it down for us in Alberta. Tapping in from Mountain Standard Time region. Let's grow Raptors. That's right. Grow. Let's grow and grow some more. Yeah, the gardener is named Darko. And I'm telling you, man, he's tending this garden better than people actually think. They think that this and this, the record and the futility, and maybe not doing very good in the end of the games, closing out the games to win, that it's all the coach's fault. Telling y'all, it's these plants. They're still little saplings and little sprouts and little coming up. They're coming up. They're not full-fledged plants yet. And we got to let this garden grow, is what I'm saying. So Seymour, salute to you, City Slicker, rocking that New York Mets hat out in the middle of the country out in the country. Yeah, Nako's here. Good to see Gerald holding it down in Mississauga in the 905 for us. Let's see what he's saying. Shed outplaying Pritchard is the only win I need. You want to see Jamal Shed play better than Peyton? That is a good matchup to kind of watch. I mean, that could be a little good, kind of signifier. If the Peyton Pritchard could have less points than Jamal Shed tonight, because this was something they talked about yesterday in the practice interview. Jamal Shed getting interviewed and talking about how he's been asked to increase his scoring to help the Raptors make more points and be able to compete better. And he's taken that upon himself. And that's part of the reason why he's more aggressive with taking the threes. We found out that RJ's been coming down on him for not taking the open shots. RJ said, you need to take these shots. And he got mad at him and kind of gave him crap. And Jamal's like, okay, yeah, well, if my vet RJ's telling me I need to shoot more, I better start shooting more. And that was pretty interesting. And it's true. I mean, we need Shed to get better at scoring in different ways, especially from the three, and understand how to attack the basket with floaters and layups with the land of the Giants down there. The more experienced and better he is at the kind of smart scoring, the thing is, Darko revealed something about Jamal Shed yesterday, and this is part of the reason why he's getting to play so much on the big club already, is that he's a very quick student. Darko's giving Jamal a lot of different assignments and things, and he's listening and he's changing things on the fly very fast. In fact, Darko's saying he's very, very pleased with how smart Jamal is and how quickly he changes things and fixes them and gets better. Like, that's something like with the New York game, right? A couple weeks ago when we went to New York and Bruce Brown and Jamal Shed were absolutely horrible off the bench. There's something that Darko did in practice or in the film afterwards and taught Jamal, and he changed all of a sudden. He's had such good games since. So Darko kind of let the cat out of the bag in the practice interview yesterday, saying that Jamal's a fast learner. He has a high aptitude, and we were very, very pleased with how quickly he's coming along in his rookie year with his aptitude and his ability to read the NBA game and do the things that he needs to do on the court in a winning way to help the Raptors win. I mean, this is part of the reason why the Raptors are very boldly saying Jamal Shed is in the nucleus of the future. All these second-round guys are not totally getting this said about them. Jacoby is from the first round, and Jamal is. But in some ways, Jonathan's got a future with us for sure. And Battle probably be around. And, of course, Shamshay. But Jamal's been very emphasized as saying this is going to be a very key person in our rotation going forward. And he's reveling in it. Jamal Shed loves knowing where he stands with our organization and understanding that he has a duty and a responsibility, and he's rising up to the occasion to take care of it. So, yeah, I would love to see this, Gerald. I'd love to see Jamal Shed have more points than Pritchard at the end of tonight's game. Pritchard or Pritchard, I don't care what his name is. Is he the captain of the Starship Enterprise? Number one, engage. Pritchard. Dun, 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 dun. Wouldn't that be weird if he came out in a Star Trek uniform, Peyton Pritchard? He said, "Make it so." Oh, that's so stupid. But yeah, I'd like to see that. That would be great. That would be a great, because that's tough. I mean, Peyton has been a killer to us. He's absolutely, in some ways, he's the most aggressive Celtic towards the Raptors when we play them more recently. Jason and Jalen are kind of going through the motions, doing their normal stuff, but they're not ultra aggressive against us. It's more like they say, "Oh, yeah, Pritchard, you go out there and mess up the Raptors." And he has. So we need to really key in on him off the bench and utilize Shed and Davion on him like crazy, and really track him. I know that we played them a bunch already this year. So our guys, our young guys are familiar with the Celtics personnel already, which is good. Shed also talking about Davion's influence on him in the practice interview yesterday, that he is really picking up a lot of defensive skills from him. He said that Davion is a defensive genius, and he's not as good as him, but he's going to learn as much as possible to be as good as him as he can while he's around him as a teammate. So that's pretty awesome. I love that so much, man. That's pretty cool. Cool Cat's here. Good morning to Cool Cat, our coach, Coach Cool Cat. Good morning, Raptor Freak crew. Game day, hoping for a competitive, aggressive game. That's all we can ask for. We will have home court advantage. Hopefully, the refs will respect that we are in Toronto tonight, and they will give us a little bit of favor, because in some ways the Celtics are weird, man. They definitely get a home court advantage in their home, but sometimes on the road they'll get a little bit of advantage out on the road too, which is annoying. It's part of the way they prop up certain franchises in the league that they really want to prop up. They will give them extra help in different places, like on the road where they're not supposed to be getting calls. So we'll have to see what happens. Some of that is reputation for being the champs and playing at a high level. Is the refs will help you out, but we'll have to see tonight. Mark Davis is no nonsense from the school of Tony Brothers, and we'll have to see what happens. I'm hoping the refs can be very friendly tonight. Is what I'm hoping right now. Yeah. Let's see. Mo saying, no, I'm not. I have other things planned. Not until the 21st, Caribbean night. Okay, so you're not going tonight. The next game you'll go to is next week for Caribbean night. Yeah, and I think Adriana's going to that game too, if I'm not mistaken. Monique, yeah. Stargate saying at Lex, there's a video going around about a kid whom the Raptors entertainment team made take off his Curry jersey in order to do halftime game or something. Got people down south shitting on the Raptors. This is really dumb. I went and looked at this a little bit, Stargate. I didn't cover this after the Warriors game because it's a non-story, and it's just some convoluted bullshit, honestly. Basically, what happened was the kid was wearing a Curry jersey, but he's from Toronto. It's not like a big deal. The kid could be a Curry fan and also a Raptors fan, Warriors Nation, you idiots. And what basically started this is the Warriors broadcast. It's their fault. This is nothing. This kind of stuff happens every day in the NBA. It's just jerseys like getting switched around or changed. And who knows? Whatever they're saying is stupid. It's absolutely manufactured, convoluted bullshit. And it's the broadcasters of the Warriors' fault because they said stupid shit on the air, and it made Warriors fans get all out of pocket and crazy about it. And it's so stupid. It's so dumb. It's just a little kid in a T-shirt and a jersey, and he could have switched it back any which way. And is the kid under duress? Are they holding his arm against him saying, "You put this shirt on, kid"? Like they're big bad bullies or something like that? No. And that kid's probably worn Raptor shirts on other days. So get over yourself, Golden State Warriors. Seriously, y'all made a manufactured complete, and that's why I don't want to pay attention to it, Stargate, because it's absolutely a non-story, manufactured perception, dumbass shit that Golden State Warriors broadcast team started up with their dumbass call about that little part. And they can say whatever they want to say. What? We can't have pride in our team here too? You stupid ass piece of shit Golden State Warriors motherfuckers. Seriously, we can't have pride in the Raptors too? That little kid wants to put a Raptors shirt on, let him put it on there. Oh, you're saying, oh, he's sad, he's mad or something. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He got a free t-shirt. He was happy. So get over yourself, Warriors Nation, with your manufactured bullshit. I was wondering if somebody would bring up this stupid shit. And thank you, Stargate, for doing it, because I did want to do my take on it. It's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Because every single day almost in the NBA, there's some sort of changing of shirts and jerseys, and it may be switching around from team to team. It has nothing to do with anything. That little kid's an NBA fan. He goes to Raptors games because he lives in Toronto. You don't think he has Raptors gear at home, Warriors Nation, you dumbasses? He's got both. He's probably a fan of Curry. He's not necessarily a Warriors fan, and he's probably a fan of the Raptors as a team. Get it with it. You got to understand, people in Toronto like other players around the league, like Joker and Steph Curry. But don't get it twisted. A lot of them still very much have an affinity for the Raptors also. So get over yourself with your self-important, egotistical stance, Golden State Warriors fan base, with your bullshit. How about that? There's my reaction to them over that stupid shit. Yeah, Cool Cat saying, IQ is having a rough season with injuries. Must be so frustrating. Yeah, I think they're babying him a lot, though. I think that they're really, really like, IQ, you need to be absolutely 100%. Just like my phone. I'm not taking it off the charger until it gets to 100%. It's at 98. I don't care. I want 2 more percent until he comes back in. I mean, that's part of it with IQ, is that he's been they're overly cautious with him with every injury he's had this year. And, he may be like Scott, where he could be playing more, but he's not up for any postseason awards or anything like that. So he's not worried about 65 games. Scotty is. Scotty's been hurt a lot of the games that he's played in the last month or so. Like Darko said in the interview yesterday, Scotty was hurt with his ankle and it was bothering him. He was working through it. And he's getting better and better and stronger every day. And he's looking and feeling better. So that's the thing. In some ways, Emmanuel's already missed the 65 games, so he has no reason to try and play or even possibly play hurt. Scotty, though, he's out there not 100%, and he's playing every game right now. And I have to give kudos to Scott for that. I mean, I get it. There are two different things going on. And in some ways, Emmanuel not playing is actually a good thing because it's allowing more time for Davion and Shed to be out there. And Shed's getting good development. So I could look at it as being a positive in some ways. In some ways, yeah. Basketball Rewind's back in the house. Good to see Kenyon back in the house. Let's see what he's saying right now. He's saying IQ sometimes struggle with managing the game in terms of the angles he takes towards the basket. It cuts off potential passes for cutters coming from the wings. This is an interesting statement by Basketball Rewind. You know what? I could say you're probably right. He does come at weird angles going to the lane and stuff. Yeah. I mean, maybe this is an area where they could get him a little bit better adjustments so that this is opened up for him or something like that. I could see that. But I kind of get what you're saying. I think some of it has to do with the speed of how he plays and also the fact that he's such a quick pace changer. Like Emmanuel could be running full blast, stop for a second, and then dribble slow, and then go full blast again all of a sudden, stuff like that. I don't know. It's good to see you, Basketball Rewind. All the best to you, man, in this early 2025. Happy New Year. Trevor saying Oklahoma City beat the Sixers. SGA 32 points and 9 assists. I love hearing that. I like hearing about that. That's an outcome that I like. Yes, go SGA and beat most of the Eastern Conference teams, please, except for the Raptors. How about that? Monique saying, finally heard what Darko had to say about Steph Curry. Yeah, he basically said that when Steph retires, he just wants to get drunk, I guess, to be celebrating him or something. That doesn't celebrate, though. To me, that's not celebrating. I know some people get drunk to celebrate at this point. Of course, that's historically. But to me, I guess it's just the way my mind's wired. That's not, I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to go on about that again today. Cool Cat saying Jamal Shed is a very good point guard. I love his fundamentals. He's just a really smart guy. He's really, really, really smart. And he's getting it. That's the thing. Sometimes there's a learning curve when you get the NBA as a very important role as a point guard that is much more difficult to tackle, and it takes years of trying to figure it out. Malachi Flynn, and Jamal Shed. There's so much that's happened in like the half a season that Jamal Shed has been a Raptor. I would say this is crazy. Think about this, Cool Cat. I think that Jamal Shed has progressed as a point guard in the NBA in a half season of being a Raptor more than Malachi Flynn progressed his whole entire career to this day. I'm serious. I think that Jamal Shed has figured out more about how to play in the NBA, how to be a good passer, how to be good at balancing your own shot and passing. Malachi Flynn did in like over 5 years. 5 years. Malachi's been in this league for 5 years or something right now. Well, I feel like Shed has already progressed more in a shorter period of time, half a season, than Malachi. I will say that right now. Yeah. Yeah. Mo's saying Lion King was amazing last night. Highly recommend to go see it. Awesome. Mo went down and saw Lion King at the Princess of Wales Theater, and she enjoyed it. I bet it was a spectacle. I bet it was so active and like just a lot going on. Very, very cool, Monique. Yeah, definitely go to Lion King. Mo's choices, Mo's picks. She's saying go see Lion King, y'all. You go see Lion King, the Mervish Theater. That's right. Basketball Rewind Center, Raptors super fan Mo saw it. It's great. So Kenyon went and saw it too. Were you in Toronto, Kenyon? Did you come over from the West Coast and go to the Lion King here, or did you see it on the West Coast? Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know there are different companies that put them on in different places, and maybe different casts, of course. So it's got to be, maybe a different experience than the BC one. I think you're out in BC, right? You're holding it down in the West Coast for us, right, Kenyon? If you came to Toronto and saw it, I'm sure it's good. Yeah. Yeah. Basketball Rewind saying Drake apparently wants back on the broadcast. Personally, I'm good after the last time. Time to mature as a franchise. I think we are beyond him now in terms of the state of the franchise. Yeah. That's funny. I did see a little bit of this too. I'm glad you guys are picking up some of the stuff I didn't talk about in the game that I meant to from Monday. The other thing is that thing that RJ did walking into the he's coming in the game and Chris is taking a three and RJ throws up the hand like he made it already. He's like three. And Alvin's like, yeah, he's making it. When his teammate knows he's gonna make it, he walked by. It was pretty cool looking. Like that when RJ's coming back into the game against the Warriors. And Chris is standing right next to him as he's walking by on the court, and he lofts the three. And RJ had already put up the symbol that he made it. Wasn't that cool as fuck? That was just so cool. RJ's just a badass, and that kind of faith in Chris Boucher would have looked stupid if Chris had missed it. But no, Chris didn't make RJ look bad, which is awesome. All right, let's talk about this. Drake has obviously been exiled from joining Matt Devlin on the broadcast. Now, I want to say this right now. Normally, Drake does not do the broadcast with Sportsnet because it's Alvin and Matt. It's almost always TSN that will put Drake on the TV channel. So the game on Monday that Drake went to was not the right company covering the game for him to be on the air. Now, we know that Drake made a big, dumb mistake the last time they let him go on the air and dissed DeMar DeRozan on our broadcast, which was absolutely unnecessary and stupid, Drake, honestly. And that's why you're not getting back on the air, and hopefully never again, honestly. I'm perfectly fine, just like Kenyon, to turn the page on Drake and his global ambassadorship, especially with his stupid shit with Kendrick Lamar last year. And just kind of, you can be a fan, cover the games, support the team. In some ways, you can still do a lot of the stuff you're doing behind the scenes, but you're just not going to be publicly such associated with us in such a way. In some ways, you're always going to be. I get it. In some ways, it was nice to see you at the game on Monday supporting the team, but it was mostly because Steph Curry and the Warriors were there, and Adonis is a fan. I know. But still, you had to be there to embrace his old friend Steph. And they're right around the same age, him and Drake. And then Chris Boucher, give him his kudos for a fantastic game as a Raptor too. So yeah, I'm totally with you on this, Kenyon. Let's turn the page on Drake on the broadcast. And in some ways, it was just not worth it. The comedy is just not there. In some ways, it's stale. He's been doing this for a long time on and off. And in some ways, it's just stale. Jack's going to say something goofy, trying to be cool. And Drake's going to be like, yeah, Jack, no, you're actually real cool, man. No, that's cool as hell. And Jack's going to be like, just absolutely cringe, old white man. Oh, no, Drake. Oh, no, Jack, you're cool, man. You're a cool guy, man. Don't worry about it. No. Like, no. And Matt Dillon would be like, listen, Jack, Drake knows what's cool. You're just cool, man. There going to be some stupid shit. We know what they're going to say. And we don't want to give a chance to Drake on a hot live mic to say something more stupid than he's going to run up the rafters and rip down DeMar DeRozan's jersey retirement banner. That's so stupid, man. What are you doing, Drake? Come on, man. I have to say, though, that jacket you wore on Monday was tight. That was a badass leather jacket you were wearing on Monday, though. I will give you credit for that. How about that? Yeah, Basketball Rewind saying the Hornets got in trouble for giving a fan a PS5, taking it away, and giving the jersey. The kid clearly wanted the PS5. Yeah, I heard about that too. Yeah, I don't know, man. This may be just in vogue right now that they're talking about kids in like jerseys and NBA teams and switcheroos. It's like, whatever, man. I'm telling y'all, Golden State Warriors broadcast team, this is on y'all, man. This isn't on us. Y'all are making a mountain out of a molehill and an everyday occurrence in the NBA. It's so stupid. It makes me so mad. They just happened to be put on camera, and y'all wanted to say something about it and point it out and put it on blast. And now you got your fan nation on a tizzy. Be more responsible, broadcasters. In some ways, it's just stupid. Why do that? Why do that? It's a non-issue. It's stupid. Is this some sort of thing where it's like we're so Warriors pride that, oh, the desecration of the child had to take off the Warriors jersey and put on the ugly, gross Raptors shirt? Oh, my gosh, the desecration of our sacred Warriors jersey. Get over yourself, Golden State, you dirty-ass motherfuckers who pushed Kyle Lowry when you fell in the owner's lap. You dirty-ass motherfuckers who hire racist-ass security guards who wouldn't let our president get on the court when we won the championship closing down your old arena, you sorry-ass franchise bitches. Yeah, get over yourself with that bullshit about that jersey on Monday night. That's so stupid, man. It's so dumb. And it is the Warriors broadcast team's fault for amping it up and putting it on blast. Seriously, nobody even cares. Nobody sees this shit. Nobody cares about this stuff unless it puts attention on it by a stupid-ass broadcast team out of Golden State. You know, around the league, there's two broadcast teams that are absolutely annoying to the rest of the league. Two teams have the worst broadcast teams that are the most annoying, homerist, just very obnoxious, and just very snooty and uppity and kind of like we are better than everybody. The Celtics and the Warriors broadcasts are the worst two broadcasts in the league for this. And I think fans across other nations will agree with me that when they hear the Golden State Warriors broadcast or the Boston Celtics broadcast, they cringe and they're like, I can't listen to this. These homers, this gross, like the way they act, and switch it off. Turn the volume off or find a different way to watch it. I'm telling you right now. Seriously, they're the worst. Now, they like our guys, though. They really like listening to the Raptors announcers. Like, you can tell because you go to NBA.com on YouTube and watch the highlights from our games. And in the comments, they're always saying stuff like, wow, these announcers are so excited. And they're so, like, fun to hear, talking about Jack and Matt and Alvin. It's like, oh, they really call the game with some excitement. That's what we get notes on our broadcast. Matt Devlin's voice is really good, is what they say, because he builds up the excitement and he has that kind of voice for broadcasting. And he has a crazy call. Like Alvin said the other day in the call, he's like, I'm just listening to you, Matt. You're amazing. And I want to give you kudos, Matt Devlin, for doing a good job, just like Alvin Williams did on the broadcast the other night, that you are top notch, man. And you make the game more exciting and more fun with the passion you put in your call. So, sir, I am so glad that you choose to work for the Toronto Raptors, because honestly, you're one of the top in your field. And you, at this point, because of the way you've gotten better and better on the Raptors broadcast since you first came here 15 years ago or so, dude, you've just gotten top notch. You are absolutely one of the best play-by-play announcers in the NBA today. Matt Devlin, the voice of the Raptors. It's just the damn truth. He puts excitement in there and he mixes comedy and fun in it too. And that's just the best kind of combination for when you're watching an NBA game right there. So what are y'all doing, Warriors, with your broadcast? You're trying to incite wars between countries? No, we're trying to have fun. And we got Jack Armstrong trying on Drake's fluffy mink coat. Yeah, stupid shit like that. That's right. All right, let's keep going. Let's see. Kenyon said, I can send you film on IQ one time. Just let me know. Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, are you making content right now, Basketball Rewind? Man, I want to see you still putting stuff out, right? I don't even know. I haven't seen anything of your stuff recently. I want to see what you've done recently. Maybe I'll go check out and see what you've been doing. Let's see. Our guys get sped up. They don't play at their own pace. When that changes and the game slows down, it will be leading to major changes in terms of offense and defensive execution. This is really astute of him saying this. Part of it is with our offense in past weeks when we were really bad around Christmas, the defenses were coming at us so aggressively, they did speed us up. And in the game against the Warriors, with not aggressive defense, we really saw if we play at our own pace in the play set system that Darko's built, it can be really, really like what Kenyon's saying here. That the execution will be way better. So in some ways, they got to be like Kyle Anderson. They got to play at their own pace and just kind of like be confident in their own pace and not let the other team agitate them to hurry it up. Yeah. In some ways, defenses in the NBA are so good with really pressure that it's hard not to get sped up because there's so much defensive pressure sometimes, especially if the team's coached to do that in the game plan against your particular team, which is what's happening right now for sure. Very much so. Monique saying, did you hear what Paul George had to say about Kyle, DeMar, and Kawhi? Yeah, Paul George said recently that he thinks that Kawhi Leonard should get his jersey retired in Toronto, along with Kyle and DeMar DeRozan. Man, that's a tough one, Paul. I know that you're good friends with Kawhi because you just played with him in Clippers for a few years now, and it was absolute fail. In fact, Kawhi turned his back on our franchise for your sorry ass. No, man. I mean, I can't get behind this. I don't know how to honor Kawhi. In some ways, this is something we're not going to need to do for a while. We're not going to have to do this for a while. It could very well be that since we didn't make a Vince statue, which we might still, there is a ceremony for Vince in February where we could put a statue of Vince outside our arena still for the end of the season. Maybe we make a shot statue for Kawhi. I don't think he deserves to have number 2 retired for the Raptors. I think you're absolutely crazy, Paul George, for saying that. But I think that in some ways his moment and his year with the Raptors is absolutely top-notch and special and needs to be honored for sure. But I don't think a jersey retirement's the proper kind of ceremony for this. I would be okay with a Kawhi Leonard statue with him hitting the shot. I think that makes so much sense as far as it's a moment. So give him a moment. And statues in some ways are bigger than jerseys in some ways to me. Some ways. That's why I was saying give a statue to Vince. Don't retire his jersey. Give him a statue. That's huge. But no, they didn't listen to me. They went ahead and retired his jersey. I hope they don't do this with Kawhi. Seriously, I hope that Paul George does not get what he wants because I don't think this is right. I think that in some ways I'm already kind of upset about Vince getting his jersey retired. I've gotten better about it. I really have. Since it's happened, I'm not really that upset about it at all at this point. But I was in the lead up to it because I didn't feel like it was exactly the right way to honor Vince. But yeah, it's definitely not the right way to honor Kawhi. Definitely not the right way to honor Kawhi. Yeah. Kenyon's saying, I live in the GTA. Oh, okay. Okay, so you must have came back. You were out there for school or something, right? Right, Kenyon? You were out there, right? He's saying, Lex, you don't got to do Red Van Vliet like that. Laugh out loud. But you are correct about Flynn's balance on the court in terms of his willingness to embrace the point guard role like Shed. It's just the learning curve. It's crazy, Kenyon. Think about how much Jamal has progressed this year. Because it's not even just like the point guard play he's doing, learning all that stuff. That's really hard because you got to know your teammates. You got to know their instincts. And you're learning not only your teammates, but the league and the opponents you're playing on the teams you've never played before. These are brand new teams that Shed has never played before in his basketball career. First time seeing franchises all the time right now. And he's flourishing right now, which is crazy because he did come in and he did seem like Davion, like offensive liability, but he's really come on strong recently. And this is part of what Darko said in the practice interview yesterday, because Jamal's scoring so much more. I want to continue to play him more heavy and encourage him more. And that's the thing. That was a criticism of him at the beginning of the season. That he's not good at threes. And he's very much made a very strong concerted effort to shore up his threes in a better percentage right now. And it's showing. It's showing. The dude's hitting his threes wide open with confidence in transition. And that's I'm telling you, the aptitude, the learning curve, and the ability to apply it on a day-to-day basis is top level right now. Is top level. And I think that that's true with a lot of our rookies right now. I think that Jacoby's also learning at an advanced pace and getting things absorbed very, very fast, just like he was just sponging it all up really quickly. Really, really quickly. And I think that's part of why he's having a lot of success right now, too. So, yeah, I'm really excited about Jamal Shed. Yeah, I think that he's going to get better and better. I know I shouldn't do Malachi like that. It's frustrated for so many years that in some ways I have to work this out and get it. It'll get out at some point, and I'll be like, yeah, I don't bring up Malachi anymore. But this is such a sore subject for me, and I really do correlate the problems the Raptors franchise had since the pandemic with Malachi Flynt's ineffectiveness at learning to be our backup point guard. That a lot of the crap that happened in the last couple of years with our futility or failures or different things can be correlated directly to Malachi not stepping up and doing the role that we wanted him to do when we drafted him. Yeah. Trevor saying John Morant wins $365,000 after Memphis his restaurant used his likeness without permission. Yikes. That's kind of scary in some ways because in some ways it's like, who knows if that restaurant is really, doing that well. But I get it. It's likeness, and if they were profiting off of using him, well, they need to be held accountable for it. And that's a huge lawsuit. He probably ran that restaurant out of business. I don't know. In some ways, I'll look at that and I'll say, well, it's the law and it's his justice and what he needs to do to protect his image. But also, in some ways, what point do you have to be an asshole like that and maybe run a restaurant into the ground? Because that's what he just did, honestly. You just told me that John Morant closed a small business down and maybe changed a family's life forever. That's not nice. In some ways, that's very cruel in some ways. In some ways, he could have been a bigger person about it, but I'm sure people in his management and his legal team were like, no, you need to do this. And I'm like, well, why? Why you do that? You don't need this money grab. You're really probably hurting somebody pretty bad, unless this is a huge restaurant that I don't know about and they're fine and I'm completely wrong about that. I don't know. Usually restaurants are family owned. And well, makes me sound like he's a bad guy to me. Yeah, it's like DZ's here. It's early, but IQ has not been impressive. It seems really fragile. Second half of the season and another offseason with some health will hopefully get him back on track. I think he's not as hurt as you think he is right now, Slug DZ. Welcome. Good to see you back again today. I think that in some ways, like I said earlier, he's really just not totally 100%. And I think that they're also being manipulative in some ways. Like, on Monday, when we were coming in the game, we were going to be fully healthy if he didn't sit. But, in some ways, psychologically, NBA teams are doing this thing where they sit one player just so they can kind of have a thing at the end of the game if they lose. Well, Draymond didn't play. Draymond didn't play. Okay, yeah, and that's better for Fan Nation. It may be better for the players themselves as far as their psychology, as far as thinking, well, Emmanuel didn't play. If Emmanuel's going to play with us, we would have won that game. We do this all the time on this channel, right? Where RJ's out or Scotty's out. Hey, man, if Scotty had been playing, man, we would have won this game. Well, I feel like that's what's going on right now, is that the Raptors are fully healthy and maybe mostly healthy. And maybe the guy who has the most nagging injuries is like, well, we're going to ask you to sit out quickly because we want to sit at least one person out. In some ways, it helps us get more guys off the bench into the game for more development time. And in some ways, it's just strategic. So I don't know how hurt Emmanuel is right now. I don't think he's as hurt as you think he is. I think this is more strategic sit-outs and maybe like a little bit of resting in the middle of the season to let him catch up. But he could be back like in the next game after this one. I didn't expect him to be out for this game. Honestly, I think that they're doing this strategically right now to give more time to Shed and also Davion on the down low. I think that's what it is right now. I think he's going to be back for most of the rest of the season and play most of the rest of the second half of the season, just so you know. I don't think he's going to miss most of the second half like he did the first half. I really do think that, yeah. Basketball Rewind saying, I just posted 2 draft videos. All right, I'm going to come check them out. I haven't looked at your channel in a while. So I'm going to definitely come and check out your channel. Y'all follow Basketball Rewind. He's been doing his channel for a while, and he's had lots of different guests over the years. And well, he's doing draft previews and looking at players for the draft right now. So definitely give Kenyon's channel a view and a like and a subscribe. Yeah, it's like DZ saying Kawhi deserves acknowledgement. Definitely not a jersey retirement. The organization should have gone with the Ring of Honor for our legends instead of raising jerseys in the rafters. That's yeah. In some ways, a lot of people are doing that because, you know, if you have so much honor, well, you're gonna run out of jersey numbers. You know, I mean, I get it. You know, there's how do we handle this? I don't know. In some ways, we don't have to worry about this for a while. I really feel like Kawhi's going to have to retire, and then there's going to have to be some years, like maybe 5 years. It won't be as long as Vince. Vince retired, and it took longer for him to come around. I think it'll be a shorter period that will honor him for his achievement for his 1 year as a Raptor, 1 year as a Raptor. And yeah, I think that we're on the same place. I think a lot of Raptors fans are on the same place for this. I think that we all acknowledge he does need to be honored by the Raptors for his contributions to our team. I don't think that NBA fans and States fans down there, don't get it twisted. We're not disrespecting him. Don't listen to Paul George. We love Kawhi. And when the proper time comes to honor Kawhi Leonard, the Raptors will. Trust me, we will. Just ask Vince Carter. He got honored. He got honored, even though a lot of people in Raptors Nation did not want to honor him. We still did it. Still did it. Basketball Rewind saying, how does the Ring of Honor work? It's basically, it's kind of like, I guess, what they do with the Blue Jays, right? They don't actually retire those numbers that are up on the walls at Skydome. They just put them up with the names of the players, and it's a Ring of Honor. But the people can still wear their jersey number, I think. I'm not totally sure if I'm correct on what I'm saying right now. I think that that's the biggest difference, is that you're putting people up on your wall in your arena for honor, but their number is not like taken, and it's still able to be used by the franchise going forward. So in some ways, it is a bigger deal to retire the number than a Ring of Honor. But also, there's not as many numbers in the letters. I mean, there's not as much numbers out there at a certain point because you're retiring too much. Yeah, it's like DZ saying Basketball Rewind, similar to what the Jays did. See, okay, there. I didn't even see his comment. I'm gonna give Slug DZ a Spider-Man dunk. That's what I'm gonna call these. When somebody says something in the chat that I did not read and it's basically the same thing I was gonna say, I'm gonna go ahead and give them a Spider-Man dunk. So Slug DZ, you're getting a historic first ever Spider-Man dunk. I'm gonna point and say, hey, you're saying what I'm saying. All right, let's see. He's saying similar to what the Jays did, put their names on the facade of the front of the 300 level. Yeah. Dave Steeb, Cito Gaston, George Bell. Yeah. Pat Gillick. Yeah. Stuff like that. Yeah. Stargate saying today is officially the half season. Let's see if the philosophy changes a bit in the second half. Well, the schedule's a lot nicer. That's for damn sure. It's official. The Raptors have the best schedule going out the rest of the season, but we earned it. We earned it. Oh, gosh, we earned it. We are in the power rankings this morning on ESPN. We are still at 27 this week. We did not move positions. 9-31 record. The Raptors to 27th out of 30 in the league. The rest of the season in Toronto is going to be about getting chemistry going between Scotty Barnes and Emmanuel Quickley, the team's two long-term building blocks. Although Quickley has been in Toronto for a full calendar year, because of injuries to Barnes last season and Quickley this season, they barely played together. The Raptors are hoping this will change over the next 3 months. I hate how they slight RJ left and right, whether it's sliding RJ on the court by not giving him any foul calls, or the coverage in the U.S. of RJ is really crazy. Like, they really are not looking or talking about him. That they're saying these are the two stars. Well, RJ, why isn't RJ on that list? We have Barbecue. We have 3. Is it that ESPN's not wanting to make a power trio for the Raptors, even though that's happening? They don't want to put that on blast, or the perception of that, so they slight RJ and they put him in the shadows. It's messed up, man. Y'all are punishing RJ for being a real one, for coming home to play for his Canadian team. Y'all need to stop this. Maybe you understand this. You're saying, okay, well, people like Chris Boucher, Kelly Olynyk, and RJ Barrett, they play for Canada's team and they're Canadians. In some ways, we don't cover Toronto or the Raptors or Canada. NBA Canada does. So we're going to disregard the Canadians on the Canadian team even more so. It's like we're really disregarding the Raptors with coverage. So RJ Barrett's Canadian and he's on the Raptors. Woo, we got to double disregard him. I feel like that's what's going on right now because RJ's not getting shine. Meanwhile, his New York teammates went on their podcast, his old New York teammates, and saying the Villanova guys, Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson, saying that RJ should be an all-star this year. So, I mean, something's not lining up. The press don't want to put any spotlight on RJ. He's going to get his no matter what and be badass and get his accolades and get his achievements, regardless of whether you put him on spotlight or not. So, yeah, you go ahead and keep lighting RJ Barrett. ESPN, who wrote that? Let me give the credit to whoever wrote that. It was Tim Bontemps, of course. Tim Bontemps was stupid ass shit from the rankings. That's right. Let's see. Kenya's saying the restaurant had agreed to pay him and started not paying the fee to him. So there's more of the story. Okay, so it's not like something weird where they did it without him talking to him. There was an agreement already. Okay. Well, this makes more sense. And I appreciate you fleshing it out. I did not hear this specific story with Ja Morant. And, well, if he had a contract and they were supposed to pay him, well, that's a totally different story than what I'm describing here. And I appreciate you for setting me straight on more of the facts. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. That's why Rewind say continue to use his likeness after they ended the business relationship. Yeah. Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. I would like to put your channel on blast. I love when you guys come in here, different people from other channels, because I want to promote you guys too while you guys are here for sure. Yeah, that's wrong on the restaurant then. So in some ways, what I said earlier, I didn't know the full details. So I'm wrong. Ja Morant needs to do that then in this situation. If there was a contract and agreement and they broke it and they continue to use his likeness afterwards, yeah, then, well, he got to do what he's got to do. And maybe that settlement was fair for it because it could have been crazier probably maybe. Select DZ saying, will Kawhi even show up to be honored after he retires? Seems like he wants to be left alone. We'll see. You see, that might be part of it too. You know, the whole thing with Vince came about this year because, you know, there was a lot of communication. And, you know, Masai's talking to him, you know, and they're trying to figure things out and smooth things over with him and the Raptors fans. And they did a really good job of doing it. They worked really hard on this from the summer into the season to get Vince okay with Raptors Nation again. And some of us don't have to do that as much with Kawhi, but is the problem Kawhi is going to disrespect our team again and just not show up? That's the problem, man. Kawhi, you're such a jerk, man. You could embrace so much accolades and adulation and joy in the country of Canada, but you turn your back on it. And if you turn your back on getting honored by us later, well, so be it. That's just how it is. And that's how I would be just easy. I'd be like, you know what? Fuck Kawhi is what I would say to him if he did not properly come and get his kudos from us post-career for his achievement in Toronto. Seriously, it would be one of the dumbest things he could do, but I wouldn't put it past him that he's that dumb that he would do that. I mean, he did make the decision to leave Toronto. So that sucks. It sucks. I think that what you're saying could very well be true, that this guy may not even show up or want to get the accolades from Toronto because he's just one of those idiots that think like that in the NBA. That, you know, you really are an idiot, Kawhi. You may have had one of the best seasons in the history of the NBA in Toronto. You had your best season as an individual in Toronto. And you don't honor that. You do not honor that in the correct way. You do not respect and honor that in the correct way, Kawhi Leonard. And in the end, kind of like Vince Carter's lesson, you're going to find out your legacy will be tarnished if you do not honor it, is what I'm saying. Your legacy will be tarnished, Kawhi, in Toronto if you do not honor your achievements. And that's real easy. You don't have to do jack shit. You just have to show up and be respectful and say, you know what? I really did enjoy the 1 year I was in Toronto playing for Nick Nurse and Masai Ujiri on the Raptors. Yeah, that's all you have to do. Just do some easy little stuff. But no, you're probably going to be an idiot and be like, I've got a championship ring from Toronto that I took the CN Tower off and I put a middle finger on it. Why did you do that? I've always wondered why you did that with your championship ring, Kawhi. Was it a middle finger to us? I won the championship. No, I don't think it was to us. I think it was towards the NBA. I think it was towards the Spurs, possibly. I think it was towards the people that were hating on him, like Skip Bayless, is who it was. I hope it wasn't towards Raptors Nation and Raptors fans in the country of Canada, Kawhi Leonard, that you took the iconic CN Tower off of your Toronto Raptors championship ring and you put a middle finger on there. Like you had it specially made. I've always wondered about that stupid shit. Like, why'd you do that? What does that middle finger mean? I may never ever know or understand why he did that. I have no idea. Yeah. Let's see. Seymour saying Carabana James. If you know, you know. Carabana James. Are you talking about LeBron? Carabana James. Oh, James Harden. Who are you talking about? James Carabana James. Most saying February 5th, 90s decade night. Raptors versus Memphis. I'm so excited to go. Once again, I want to remind you guys that we're having a Raptor Freak meet and greet this weekend on Sunday at the Paramount Fine Food Center for the 9:05 game, 2:00 versus the Valley Suns. It's the first time the Valley Suns, the new G League expansion team for the Phoenix Suns, will come to Toronto to play against our G League team. So I'm going to be there, going to the game with Adriana, and I'd like to have more Raptor Freaks come. I know that we came last time with Monique and MK and Neil, and I'm hoping that we can get some people to come this weekend. So if you can make the game this weekend at Mississauga, I'm going to be showing up around 1 p.m., around that time, and we'll go to the game. And I want to try and sit as close to the court as possible and watch Ulrich Shamshay and AJ Lawson and the rest of the great players on the 905 up close and have that experience. So Raptor Freak Hangout this weekend on Sunday, the 19th at Paramount Fine Food Center. Just show up at the arena and look for me. You can see what I look like. So if you see me there, say, hey, there's Raptor Freak, and or contact me ahead of time so that I'll look out for you, get your information, maybe your phone text you, and we were able to coordinate that way too. And I'm hoping some of the people that went last time, like Meredith and Neil, can come again, because they did say that they were going to try to. And I know that Monique, I know that it's a little bit too much to get all together to get out there again. But it was really fantastic to go to the Westchester game with you already this season. So, yeah, that's what's going on this weekend. So if it's Kenyon, if you're in Toronto and you want to come out to the 905 game with me this weekend, I'll be there this weekend for the afternoon game. There's no Raptors game that day. So it's just basically the 905 playing the Valley Suns at 2 p.m. Paramount Fine Food Center. That's right. That's right. We can go sit courtside. How about that? Be all fancy and go down there and be the new version of Jack Nicholson at courtside with the 905 show down there. That's right. Monica's got my cutoff. I appreciate that. She's also saying, I'm kind of glad they dropped the tempo gear when I think about it. You know, my criticism of what they did yesterday, I still stand with it. And in fact, it's so much crazier than I think. You know, they just dropped everything yesterday. They had plant holders and all kinds of crazy like knickknacks, tempo stuff. It's cool to have tempo gear, but man, y'all went overboard. And I'm worried about y'all selling all of it because y'all made so much already. You know, y'all need to kind of figure out your market. You may not sell a whole lot of tempo stuff at first. And if y'all went crazy and bought so much inventory of all this stuff, y'all need to be watching out. Seriously, financially is what I'm saying, Toronto Tempo, in some ways. I don't know, man. I just think that the wide amount of different products that they released yesterday was overkill. And I think that they really missed out on something called brand scarcity. You really want to make people into the tempo, make something a rare item that not many people can have. And then you're going to get some people more interested in some ways because you're bringing like something that's attractive to people saying, oh, you know, we only made 1,000 of these Toronto Tempo initial first ever shirts. Wow, those shirts will be known or something like that. I'm telling you, there's nothing about this collection that signifies it's the first one. You could go through the years coming up and it'll be, yeah, that just looks like Toronto Tempo gear. And it could be from year 1. It could be from year 2 or 5. You know, that's why I don't like this. This is not totally smart marketing with their brand. And it's like oversaturating the products coming out. And like I said, there's some people out there that are completionists that want to buy all of the Temple gear. If you make too much of it, it's crazy. And I get it, Teresa. You put it up on your Instagram that this is for your cousin. This is for your baby. This is for your sister. This is for this. And I love that diversity and all that. But y'all, man, I'm telling y'all, there were opportunities to do something with this, much like with the release and the leak that kind of went that it kind of in some ways I wondered if y'all needed to maybe bring them out staggered over this whole entire year. Like you dropped everything like boom right now. Like everything right now. Why couldn't you come out with an item of the week to build excitement and reveal a new item every week? Like, why wouldn't you do that? Like, in some ways, that continues to create buzz for the whole entire weeks leading up to when you come as a team finally. You get players in the fall. It's like, whoa, let's see what the drop is for the swag from Toronto Tempo this week. No, you blew your load. You put it all out right all at once. In some ways, I don't agree with that. Now, I know you can circle back and highlight and spotlight certain items that you're selling every week and maybe put a highlight on it, but it's not like it's getting released and revealed to the public for the first time. We're seeing everything that you have made all at once yesterday. And in some ways, it doesn't make it as special. That's what I'm worried about. I mean, the stuff looks great. I love the colors. I think that the designs are very professional. There's all sorts of diversity in the products for all ages and different kinds of people that would want them. You know, you're right with all that. But in some ways, I'm telling you, there's certain marketing and branding things that you could have done with your gear a little bit different. You could have strategically really got yourself a little bit more, you know, over time is what I'm saying. I don't know. It's just too much. In some ways, like I said, there's going to be no signifier you're going to be able to tell that's original Tempo gear unless somebody tells you, unless somebody says, oh yeah, this is an original Tempo shirt. I got it as soon as they came out. As soon as I came out. Yeah, it looks just like my shirt that I bought just now at the store. I'm just saying, I mean, maybe I have an analytical mind for this kind of stuff a little bit different than the people who are doing things in the Tempo. But I don't know. And I think that the gear looks awesome. That's what matters. There is enthusiasm about it, and that's what matters too. I don't want to be a negative ninny. It's just maybe, my critical thinking is like, man, they really kind of missed the boat on this in some ways. Some ways, too much. It's like, it's weird because their name is Tempo, and the tempo of what the franchise is doing is really crazy and offbeat in a weird way, whether it's the leak and now the huge deluge of gear that they just dropped on us yesterday. That I don't even know if I've seen everything that they came out with yesterday because there's just so freaking much. And it's all over the place. Now, they're having an event today. Let's go look at this on Instagram stories real quick. First, we got Scotty Barnes with a great picture of Grady, Oshai, and doing a high five behind his back. And Pirtle's there too. And you know what this picture signifies to me? And I saw a bunch of the Raptors put this up on their Instagram yesterday. This signifies that this team bonded themselves even closer after winning against the Warriors on Monday night. That, you know, the losing has been bad. It's tough. It's hard to bond. But when you win and you feel those winning vibes, you get an affinity for your teammates and more of a trust. And you get more kind of like feedback that, you know what, you guys are on the right path. Well, that can really solidify relationships on a team that has had adversity like the Raptors when they finally do come around and start getting some taste of success. And I think that's what's happening. The Raptors on their social media yesterday were professing the connection and how much they love each other as teammates. Scotty said it very, very openly on Monday night. We love each other. We really root for each other. And we're a team. We're a true team. And while they were showing it on Instagram, by posting different posts each other and then liking each other's posts and just putting team feelings on blast on there is what I'm saying. Toronto Tempo. Let's see. All right. I got Teresa Resch's Instagram. Let's see what she's saying on here. She was on Breakfast Television yesterday with Sid Sixero promoting the new gear. And look at everybody's wearing cool stuff. Sid's even wearing the Chartreuse suit. And Teresa's got an awesome jumper top on there. Or is that a sweatshirt? Yeah, there's a hoodie that's a Tempo hoodie on that one guy in the middle. It looks really good. There's a blue one. Yeah, the gear looks amazing. It looks amazing, but it's overwhelming how much there is what I'm trying to say right here. Yeah, there she is with there's an awesome shirt. Man, really, really cool gear with her revealing it. Now, there's some sort of pop-up store today, I believe, in Toronto somewhere. I need to find the ad for it again, where they're doing a sip and see the catalog of Toronto Tempo gear and come down and have a coffee. I need to get the deets on the date and the time. The date's today and the location, so you guys can know if you are downtown, you want to go. Chris Boucher's got an awesome reel of his dunk from the other night. He got number 2
on the NBA top 10 dunk list last night. The dunk that he did, that very powerful dunk where he threw it down on Golden State, got number 2 out of the top 10. So that's pretty good. He didn't get number 1, but he was the second one. That's pretty good. Grady with his stat line from the Warriors game yesterday. I already looked at that. And there's that picture I just talked about. Scotty posted it. Grady posted it. The high five between him and Abaji with Jakob and Scotty in that picture too. I'm just telling you, they're showing the team spirit. There's one from Emmanuel. He's posted a picture of Scotty, RJ, and himself. And that's RJ Barrett's post that he's reposted right there. Jamal Shed putting on blast his former Houston teammate Sasser, Marcus Sasser, plays for the Pistons. Of course, they faced off against each other recently. That's always a joy and a fun. Two very good friends playing against each other in the NBA. So, yeah, he's putting Sasser on blast right now. And he's also put Grady on blast, too. So there you go. Kelly Olynyk was out eating last night. He has a very, very fancy dressed up piece of raw tuna. Ooh, look at that tuna. He's got a green pepper on and a marigold. They got a marigold on that? I don't know. It looks like a nice little piece of meat there. Sashimi. So Kelly Olynyk, why you do this to me, man? I have not eaten lunch yet, and you're making me want to eat raw tuna right now. Kelly Olynyk, go check out his Instagram eats. Always eating something. That's right. Dinner with the Walter family put on blast by the Raptors official admin. They're showing the clips of Jacoby when he met with the families around the holidays and gave the kids the presents and had dinner with them. Very, very cool event. Jacoby's giving back. His philosophy is with a lot that you get, there's a lot of responsibility to give. And that's how he's living his life. I love seeing that. We the World. We the World. What is this? There's an event on March the 5th called We the World, historic automotive building at the exhibition place is where it's going to be. Tickets are on sale now. And it looks like MLSE's foundation, it's basically like they're going to have the players there. It looks like barbecues on blast in the picture. Join us to celebrate the global language of basketball and 30 years of the Toronto Raptors legacy. Wow. So MLSE Foundation has got an event March the 5th at the historic automotive building down at near the TFC soccer arena. So, yeah, that's very cool. I'd not seen this until just now. So y'all check that out, and maybe it's an event that some people want to go to. Who knows? Maybe we should go. Maybe I should get things together, and maybe we go there. All right, let's see. Davion Mitchell's got a picture of his teammates also. He's got a picture of him and Yak picking up Grady from the floor. So I'm telling you, they're solidifying the teammate feels of connection right now. Wubbs has got a picture of him standing in well, it's not him. It's a meme where it's a guy standing with people away from him, staring at him. I think, therefore I am. That's right. And there he's putting on blast. He's so smiley these days. Like, it's weird. Jacoby came into the team very brooding, kind of a mystery guy, not very many smiles. But now everything he's posting, he's big, cheesy, teethy smile. And I love it. I love it. You keep smiling, Jacoby, because you're doing things right in your rookie year in the NBA. You keep going. You keep doing it right because you're doing it right because you're raised right. And you understand how to do things the correct way, to do it in a healthy, smart way. And I appreciate you for that, Jacoby Walter. All right, here's the tempo thing. Let me see if this got it right here. Yeah, they got onesies. It's crazy. They got so much stuff on there. And hopefully they're doing gangbusters and making a lot of money right now with what they're doing right now. But, man, I mean, my criticism is just that it's too much. It's overwhelming to me. It's just overwhelming. I'll probably get something soon, but I don't even know if I care about getting something on this first group of stuff, because in some ways it's not that special to me because there's so much. Like, I'd want to buy a Toronto Tempo thing more if it wasn't so common. It really is something like Pokemon. Come on, Teresa Resch. You got to understand, there's rare Pokemons that are worth more that entice people to want to buy Pokemon cards. So if you made rare, like, Tempo gear that's officially the first one, you may have in crazy sales if you do it a certain way. But you didn't do it that way, unfortunately. And in some ways, you're not going to get a sale from me right now. I will buy Tempo gear in the long run, but I don't see the reasoning for me to go buy it now just because it just came out, because it's not special. It's not special how you guys drop this stuff. It'll be special in the long run, but to me right now, it doesn't seem special, is what I'm saying. Yeah, there's the boxes. People are opening up the stuff they've been getting from the Tempo at their house, and they're posting it on social media. It's awesome. It's awesome. I love that. And where's the event? They're not even putting it on blast at this point. Are they still going to do it? Did they take it down? I don't know. There's some sort of event for Toronto Tempo stuff in Toronto somewhere, but I don't remember where it is. In some ways, they don't have it on their Instagram, so maybe they need to put that out there. Norman Powell just tied a record on the Clippers, 8 most threes in franchise history. So he's moved up. How long has Norman been on the Clippers? And that he's at the point where he's 8th on their franchise list for threes made. Isn't that sounds insane to me? Does that sound insane to you guys that Norman Powell is number 8 on most three-pointers made in a Clippers jersey? That sounds so crazy to me. It's not like he's been there forever. How did he get to 8th place? Like he's made the 8th most threes in franchise history. How did he do that? I don't know. Maybe he's been getting threes like we do dunks. He gets 3 for each. And Shamshay's got some clip of some kid somewhere. I don't know where it is. He's calling him Batman. I don't know what's going on there. Batman's playing basketball or something. There's your Instagram stories real quick. Man, I want to know where that pop-up is for Toronto Tempo. I don't know why I can't find the information for it now. They should be putting it all over the place because I would put it on blast and tell people to go there today. Anyway, we'll move on. We've done enough on the Instagram stories there. Real quick. Go Tempo for life. That's right, Seymour. I'm all about the Toronto Tempo. I want to get some gear, Teresa. I want to get some gear. That's right. Slug DZ's guaranteed we will hear rumors or it will be said in an interview that when he retires, he regretted leaving the Raptors, just like the rest. Oh, yeah. That's for sure, Slug DZ. I think that you're exactly 100% correct. I think it's privately, he probably already says this to people behind the scenes. I think he privately already says this. I think that in some ways, some of the sad eyes that Kawhi has made in the last 2 years is realizing how he screwed up. And honestly, he is the only one that can take the blame for this. Sure, we can blame Uncle Dennis. We can blame Steve Ballmer for being overly excited all the time and trying to lure him here. We can blame Doc Rivers and Lawrence Frank for coming and talking to Kawhi while he was still playing for us, tampering to get him to come into the Clippers during our championship year in the middle of all that. People don't remember that in the middle of the season, the Clippers were soliciting Kawhi Leonard the year we won the championship. And when they would see him, they would come and talk to him in some bullshit convoluted way. And well, they succeeded in luring him there. That's the thing. There's a lot of tampering in this league at this point. A lot of tampering. Slug DZ saying, oh, yeah, you already read that. Seymour saying that middle finger was to everyone, including us, Lex. If Kawhi Leonard, with all due respect. There you go. I can get behind this. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder who that's to. I mean, in some ways, you're not respecting the tower and the city you did it in if you're going to take it out and put a middle finger on there. I mean, seriously. In some ways, I'm with you on this, Seymour. Because in some ways, I mean, I don't get it, man. Seymour saying, I appreciate the shiny trophy like an Instagram model, but yeah, bye, Kawhi, bye. Well, we'll have to see. We're going to have to reckon with all this. In some ways, there's an easier path to reconcile things with Kawhi Leonard because he didn't really do us that dirty other than he just made a poor decision for himself. It really could have been like, man, you could have brought more championships to Toronto. We know this, and the NBA knows this. And that's why they really did try and guide you out because they did not want the Raptors repeating a second year in a row. And we probably would have. We probably would have, Leonard. So you left a Larry O'Brien on the table by leaving Toronto. You really, really did. Trevor saying Anthony Edwards' season fines have totaled now $285,000. For all the stuff he's done. Yeah, he's shooting a bird in the middle of the game the other day now. He just right out on the court, just raised his arm right on up. One finger salute for somebody. And that's the latest fine for him. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I mean, he's living his life. Hey, everybody has the freedom to do what they do. And well, if he wants to spend money that way in his life, he can go ahead and spend money that way. You can go spend that. Yeah. Let's see. Most saying Toronto Tempo was on CP24. Too early, though. Okay. Yeah, they've been on there a few times, but there's an event this afternoon. I'm trying to figure out where it is. Like, where is the event, Teresa Resch? Let me go look. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look and see if it's on their page, like without the stories. And let me just see if they have it because I saw it somewhere, and I don't know why I'm not seeing it now. It's really kind of dumb. Like, why am I not seeing this now? What is that? That's not the official Toronto Tempo site. Why is that coming up? I didn't want that one. I want this one. Okay. Is there ad there? Is it here? No. Where did I see that ad? And now it's just disappeared completely. Maybe they canceled the event or something. I don't know. It's weird. It was up when I started the stream this morning.
Anyway, all right, classic card. Let's go, Trevor J. All right, they are still Christmas cards. There's a few left. There's not as many left. They're going to be gone soon. Okay, yeah, here we go. This is the classic card of the day. First person to write in the full name answer of the classic card gets the classic card points. So be that person. There's no time out at this point, so nobody should be waiting for a number to run down and do this. So I'm just going to do it. Here you go. Here's your classic card. Tell me who that is. Get your classic card points for today. It's classic. It's from last year. It's very shiny card. It's got some shine to it. Wow, Andrew's on it. There's our rookie of the year, Andrew. He got the right twin, which is good. He spelled it correctly, perfectly. There you go. That's a flawless 100% classic card, a snag right there. Caleb Martin, exactly right. There he is. Of course, is he's on the Sixers now? Is where he is right now? Yeah, because he's jumped around a little bit. He's on the Sixers with Nick Nurse at this point. Yeah, Caleb Martin. So we'll give Andrew 100 points for getting the classic card real quick. Caleb Martin. 100 points for Andrew. A Raptor Freak Rookie of the Year for 2024. Andrew, that's right. There you go. All right, let's see. Mo's saying, I think they're doing Raptor City Social. They are doing Raptor City Social anymore. I think this is a new event took over. That's what this is. That's what the feel of it looks like. The one that I was just promoting for March, the one that's going to be at Exhibition Place. Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Mo. That it's like the Rap City Social. It's like an event where you can pay a lot. I think that's what it is. I think you're exactly right. This may not be an event that I want to go to because it may be like thousands of dollars. So yeah, I think you're right. I think you're exactly right, Mo. I'm gonna give you a dunk for information and being on top of things and clearing things up for me all the time, Monique. You do this all the time. It's very valuable. 18 dunks for Mo now. She's got 6 dunks for the year so far. There you go. Criscom's here. The great Criscom is in the house. Let's see if Criscom has a prediction about the game tonight. Let's see what he's saying. What's good, Lex? Speaking of Norm, I get him back on the team as a free agent. Pistons are playing good with their vets. They signed Norm. Can be a piece for us. What do you think? Yeah, the Pistons actually just didn't they go and beat they beat the Knicks in New York on Monday night. And the thing about that game is that's very interesting is that the Pistons, we've seen them and the Knicks recently, and the Pistons are really arriving with Cade Cunningham. The Cade Cunningham in the second half against the Knicks absolutely took over the game and was the reason why the Pistons beat the Knicks in New York. That's the other thing. The Pistons went in there as the team from the outside. They've been playing very good. So that's why Raptors fans, the loss what we had to the Pistons the other day is not something to be embarrassed by. They are arriving, and they're doing stuff like what they did in New York the other night. Cade Cunningham has been fantastic this year. And Tim Hardaway Jr. continued to play real good against the Knicks on Monday night also. So, yeah, they are playing amazing, the Pistons right now, Criscom. Totally, yeah. I don't know about Norman returning to Toronto. I don't know if that makes sense. In some ways, his cohort and his time here was then. In some ways, we don't want to bring him back because he may reminisce too much and be like, man, I miss Kyle. I miss Fred. I miss Pascal. And this just isn't the same being here with those guys, not here with me. So I don't know. I don't like returning to things unless it makes sense in a certain way. I don't know if Norman will ever make sense to come back. I don't think he will. Slug Deezy saying, I think it's an FU to the Spurs. He wanted to get traded to LA. They tried to screw him over by sending him to Toronto. That's the most likely truth right there. I think it is. It could be in some ways to the NBA in general also. It could be in that way too. It's kind of like that. Yeah. Click's here. Good to see Click. A longtime Raptors freak. Right from the start, what's he saying? Jaylen Brown and Tatum were partying last night. They were in Toronto last night, go out on the town. Ooh, that home court advantage that we don't talk about enough. The one that has been talked about on the Raptors documentary series came out on Sportsnet. The first episode came out around Christmas, where Michael Jordan went out the night before the Raptors beat the Bulls in that classic game with Damon Stoudemire in the Skydome, and Darrell Walker had been partying with them, kept them out, and that Michael thought the Raptors were so bad he could do that and still beat us, and then we beat them. I don't know. Maybe that's what Tatum and Brown were thinking last night. They were out partying in Toronto. Who knows? Well,
You go ahead and make your life decisions, guys. And well, let's see if the Raptors are as bad as you think they are tonight. Because in some ways they may not be as bad as you think. That's right. That's right. All right, let me see. Have I gotten to the end of the chat? Have I gotten to the end of my tabs? I think I have on both accounts. So let me just make sure. Yeah, there's no birthdays again today, guys. Unfortunately, sorry about that. Unfortunately, nobody born on today. All right, let me do the rundown and we'll get out of here just around hour and a half, 90 minutes. All right, the Celtics do not have any injuries tonight. They're completely healthy. So we'll see if there's any scratches this afternoon. Like they may actually do a little bit of load management. I could see them sitting either Tatum or Brown just out of the blue before the game tonight. And they'll just come out this afternoon and they'll say, yeah, Jason Tatum's not playing tonight. And they'll play with just one less superstar. Now, what this is just like what I said the other day. The game on Monday, Draymond Green didn't play and IQ didn't play. And sometimes teams like to have an excuse just in case they end up losing the game by accident. And well, I could see the Celtics sitting one of their main two guys, either Brown or Tatum tonight, just to have that kind of excuse, just in case the Raptors come up and beat them. So, yeah, but nobody's injured right now as of right now. The Emmanuel Quickly is already ruled out for the game tonight on the Raptors side, though. So I'm fully expecting Davion Mitchell to start once again in his place. So, yeah, the referees for tonight's game, Mark Davis is the crew chief. He's exactly even with the same record with the Celtics and the Raptors. So it's a split with Mark Davis, the crew chief. Yeah, in some ways, in this situation, I would say the crew chief like this with a split, it favors the home team. But even then, I think it's a split because of the favoritism towards the championship team and the Celtics and the league in general, so that may be even between our home court advantage and their illustrious reputation. So, yeah, Mark Davis is the crew chief. Carl Lane, the Star Wars fan, is the second ref. He favors the Celtics, but in his heart, he loves the Raptors. We know it. We know it. He's for the Rebels, not for the Empire. JD Rawls, the rookie referee, is the third ref, and his record with the two teams is this. He's 2-4 with the Raptors, and he's 1-1 with the Celtics. So he does technically favor the Celtics, but the sample size is very, very small, as this is the third game he's ever refereed for Boston in any time. So, yeah, there's the ref report. It's an interesting crew. Mark Davis, Carl Lane, JD Rawls. JD Rawls. Yeah. All right. Let's see. That's it. Yeah. Raptors are 27th in the ESPN power rankings as of this morning. And yeah, check out the Kensington Variety VIP Club episodes 5 years ago today. I was going to work and I found my friend Anthony on a TTC bus. Not on the bus, like in the bus, on the side of the bus in an advertisement. It was so cool. It's like if you watch the Kensington Variety VIP Club, you know who Anthony is. He's always trying to sell me things on the show. And, well, this is the episode today where I see him on a bus because he's on an ad for a homeless shelter. And we talk about it on the show. So if you want to check that out, check out the Kensington Variety VIP Club show from 5 years ago on this very date. It was when it was filmed. And it's a little time capsule before pandemic, before coronavirus, right before it. You can see what life was like right before we had the pandemic hit. And this was a life before the pandemic. Remember that. That's right. Mo's saying, thanks for everything, Lex. You're welcome, Mo. Y'all, listen, I want to say one more thing, guys. Is anybody interested in going to the Coaches Open House that later this month? Because Monique is still looking for somebody to go to the Coaches Open House with her. Her mom's not able to go, and she just wants a Raptor freak to come down there, or a friend, to just enjoy being there with her and watching it. It's a great event. A ton of us went last year. And who knows, maybe Evelyn or somebody like that may be listening and they want to go to the Coaches Open House once again. That would be awesome, because Mo's looking for somebody to go with because her friend can't go with her now all of a sudden. And, somebody can get up and go down to that Coaches Open House. I'm telling you, it's so much fun. You'd really, really enjoy it. We prefer it to be somebody that knows Monique already going to the Coaches Open House. But if anybody is interested, let either Mo or I know directly, because she is trying to find somebody to go to that with her. She wants to go to that event, but she doesn't want to go by herself. I would go myself, but I'm so far out of the city at this point. To make it to Scotiabank Arena around 8 a.m. is a real haul and crazy in certain ways. So, yeah. All right, y'all. Let me wrap it up. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, or join the channel. Membership has its privileges. You can be in our Facebook chat during the game live and hear our comments during the game about what's going on in the Raptors game as it happens. So there's a lot of fun in there. And, we got some pretty astute basketball fans that know what they're talking about and bringing interesting comments and interesting articles. Any breaking news about the Raptors that's coming out at any time is getting posted there by one of us. So it's definitely a great feature and something for Raptors fans to have that is a really like a great information source is our chat. So y'all, thank you for watching me today. Let's beat the Celtics tonight. Listen, the opportunity for us to beat them is there. It may not be a better percentage than them beating us, but the percentage is still there. And the ball can land on either side of that percentage. And well, it's not as likely, but it can happen. And that's all we have to do is open up our minds to the possibility of beating the championship Celtics right now, today, in our home arena, because we could do it, y'all. We could do it. The synergy is good with our team right now. The team is very much connected, and they're feeling good after beating the Golden State Warriors on Monday. And in some ways, this Toronto team may be underestimated by Boston tonight. And that's very dangerous for an NBA team to do, especially when there's a team figuring their stuff out and they may be playing at a very good level on the download that people don't even realize because they can't scout it yet because it's coming up like that. It's coming up like that. That's right. I'm all about it. Let's go Raptors and beat the champion Celtics tonight. I'm all about it. Let's go. All right, y'all. Have a great day. Raptorize your day like Nab Bhatia would. Touch grass. Well, if you can. Snow's out there like crazy. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with the reaction to the game tonight. Hopefully a big dub. And the Raptors can have a 2-game winning streak. And we'll be celebrating that tomorrow. Just think about how win over the Celtics tonight in Toronto would buoy and encourage our Raptors to play even better and feel even more encouraged and confident about the path they're going down with this team, with our coach, Darko Rajakovic. Yeah, it'll be very much a boost to their feelings of how they're feeling about things. It'll be even better than Warriors and beating them on Monday. All right, y'all, let's go Raptors. I'm proud of you guys. Keep striving and growing and achieving. Real ones stand with you all through the whole process. And that's what the RFF is. We're here for you guys. And we want you guys to succeed at the highest of levels, individually and as a franchise and a team. All right, let's go Raptors. I love you guys. I love the Raptor Freak family. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, 9:30 a.m.